okay, like teach me Venda. My response is always go watch Mobango.
What is your birth name and your job title?
My birth name is Rendani Nemakhavhani. That's not a weird name, it's just Pearl. Yeah, it's nice. And my job title currently is art director.
How do you self-identify and what are your preferred pronouns?
I'm a woman, she, her, she.
Describe the environment in which you grew up.
Growing up was cool. Growing up was weird. Nothing like traumatic happened in my life, but I think because I was now the kid who's in the white school and I like still have those friends in Soweto, we had like, it's almost like we were a body, then we were dislocated, you know, because the way that I was living was becoming very obviously different to how they are living. So there were some things that I wasn't in as much touch with as I would have been before, because like we used to be together as a group and we used to go everywhere. We used to go to the same kind of schools and stuff. But then like we broke away from each other because of that. So then I became my granny's best friend, basically. So I'd always just like chill in the house with her. I think this is where my love for soapies comes from. I love watching soapies. They are amazing. I don't care what anyone says about them. Soapies are my shit. So yeah, we'd basically just like watch TV the whole day. I used to be a TV guide. I used to know every single thing, every single program at like all the channels. You could ask me and I know, you know. My granny was like cool with me being that kid because that's who I am. And she liked me being in the house. That we didn't have to go outside to go check up on me all the time. So we hung out a lot. I did a lot of granny things as a kid. I think that's why I'm as reserved as I am now.
What is the question you are most asked that you hate answering?
People always, when they find out what my name is, or when I tell them what my name is, they ask, oh, you're Venda. Are you from Venda? And then I'll have to go to the whole, no, I'm not. I was born here, wada, wada, wada. And they're like, oh, can you speak Venda? Like, yes, I can speak Venda. I'm not like amazing at it, but I'm like well enough to understand what's going on and speak. I speak it fluently, basically. Not as well as my cousins from Venda though, but I speak it very fluently. It's mostly irritating because I don't hear those questions being asked to other people. You know, like, and it becomes like weird and stuff. And then they do the whole, okay, like teach me Venda. My response is always go watch Mobango.
What questions do you get asked that men in your field never have to consider?
Do you think you can handle this on your own? Like, we haven't even started, bro. You know, you're already there. Unless it's like, oh, do you have capacity? Do you need help? Then, you know, then it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we can talk about that. I always get so like, where are you from? And I guess like it's a normal thing that people ask each other and like where they've worked and stuff. But I find that to be quite annoying in the workspace because it comes back to that point of like people wanting to know they can check certain things off the box before they can talk to you about certain things, you know?
What did you want to be when you grew up?
So at first I wanted to be a doctor. And then like the more difficult high school became, especially like the science. I'm not a math person. I'm not a science person either. I think it was physics that was the thing that I wasn't down for. And I was like, you know what, it's okay. Like, I'll find another way to help people in my life, like, but this one is not happening. But yeah, I wanted to be a lot of things, man. And I still want to be a lot of things. I don't believe in living life, even though I think in a somewhat linear way, I don't believe in living life, doing like the same thing for 40 years. And those who are doing it, great, and they love it, amazing. But I'm not that guy, you know? And I've become very happy with that because I don't know what tomorrow brings. I like adventure. I like doing things that I'm not used to doing. I like challenges and stuff. So for me to be in one place for too long, literally feels like I'm about to have a heart attack.
Name 3 contemporaries in your field whom you either admire, stan, or celebrate.
I really admire. Okay, these people are not as popular, but there's a collective in Ghana called Afro District PA or PSSA, and it's made up of 2 guys. And these guys, like, Ghana's the art scene there is not as loud as ours is, so they basically have taken or made the initiative to make themselves loud outside of the space that they are living in, right? And it's just, I'm so fascinated because they're like hustlers, you know? They get work done. Like, yo, we want to do this with this person from this place. I don't know how they do it, but like they make sure that they have it like done, you know? And I think because they are in the place that they are in, it should be like more difficult for them to do things, but it's not. And I feel like this is why I feel like a lot of South African artists, I guess you have to be exposed to it to be able to like know that it exists and for you to see it. But like a lot of South African artists and creators are like chilled. Even I feel like I'm chilled for like the pace at which we are working at versus them, you know? And it's like, I think it's become a little bit easier for them to navigate through like the international spaces because of how they work with each other. You know, like when I was in, I couldn't believe it. Like those people are like angels. They're like happy and they're happy for each other. There's no like pulling down or just like competitiveness that's unhealthy between them. Like everyone is just always like cross-culturally, generationally, like helping each other out. And I really, really admire that. And I feel like we're slowly getting into that space where like less people are feeling intimidated by people who are inaccessible to them. Yeah, Afro District is amazing. And then my last one, but I really, 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 I love Wanda Lipoto as a documenter of what's happening, you know, of who we are as a people and like where we're going also. I've been mad at him on several occasions, but I have forgiven him. So I just feel like my love for Black people and his love for Black people, we're doing completely like almost different things, but we're for the same people, you know? And I really, really like, I value that. I value people who value their people, and I value people who love their people, basically. Yeah, like, it's really beautiful to watch and to see also like from where it's come from to where it's going and where it's going to be still. Yeah, I think he's really dope. I framed one of his t-shirts. That's how dope I think he is.
What in your career are you doing to keep the door open for those who come after you?
I think that's, for me, still a work in progress, you know. I don't think I've made it to a point where I can like just, hey, this is happening, like everyone come through. And I realized this while I was lecturing, because what I wanted to do is to help those kids like support their dreams basically in like whatever it is that they wanted to do. But the thing that was difficult is that I didn't have enough access to stuff and to people at the time. And I still feel like I don't have enough access to people and to resources. And so that's why I'm saying that it feels like a work in progress for me. Because the people that I do know, cool, I don't want to be the guy that's just like every 5 minutes always asking for a favor, you know. I need us or me and those people to like build a solid relationship, so that when that kid arrives at where they are and asking for help or whatever, I trust that they will take care of them. I trust that they will definitely help them, that they won't just like play around with them and waste their time and whatnot. Yeah, so it's definitely a work in progress.
What are your daily rituals that remind you or bring you closer to your truest self?
My gratitude notes. So every night before I go to sleep, I write like a note to myself about what I'm grateful for on that particular day. It doesn't have to be big, you know? And I do this mostly because when you're having a bad day and you're just like, actually like, fuck everything in the world right now, I always need to come to a point where I can find one thing that went right in the day. That's like, okay, cool, you're doing great, you're doing good, you're not a loser, you know, you're fine. So that's become very, 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 very important for me. And also just like learning how to, or relearning how to be intentional about the things that I do on a daily basis. Because it's very difficult, I mean, it's very easy to like, to lose track of what's happening, because like life happens at such a fast pace that you don't always see what you're doing. You don't always see the people around you. You don't see, basically. You're just literally, you're living for the sake of living. And I feel like that's sad, you know? So, and the gratitude notes help with that as well. That I actually have to like think about what happened today and was I happy with this or that or whatever. Yeah, so that's the one ritual that I would recommend everyone does.
Describe your safe landing spaces. Who are you going to call at 2 a.m. to help you bury a body?
I'd call Rendani. Rendani is my older brother by like cousinship. I'd call him, and then I would call my two friends Lizzie and Rato. They're like better than me under pressure. I can be calm, but also I freak out sometimes, you know?
In your life, what are you most proud of?
That I didn't become a loser. Like, I say that with the most positive intention behind my words. Because life gets difficult, life gets hard, life gets like, because there are times where I feel like, yeah, today you caught all the L's in the world, you know, but like, I'm not an overall, like I didn't give up on myself when I could have just like, actually no, it's fine, I don't want to do this anymore, it's cool. But the fact that I keep going on and on and on and on every day is what I'm very proud of.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
If you could live anywhere else on the continent, where would you live?
Ghana.
What is your favorite sound?
I like hearing water.
What is your least favorite sound?
Like scratches. Scratches are the worst.
What are you going to do when we get the land back? I
am claiming more property and turning the property into some type of business. I don't know what, but just make it make more money, basically.
If heaven exists, if you believe, what would you like to hear God say when you reach the pearly gates?
Here's your grandmother. Yeah.
A brand called Seabe, the collection. I've chosen these pajamas today because it reminds me a lot of, well, it is my father's. He's no longer with us. He was my major inspiration, I guess, for my fashion sense. He was known for how he dressed when he was younger, and that's what I remember of him.